Good evening, everybody. Let's do a mic and visual check. Everything look good and sound good so far. Tonight, I look pretty big. I'm pretty. Let me size me down just a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Looks good, sounds good. Well, welcome to slow-ish markets tonight. Once again, as always in the YouTube chat, the Nightbot has posted the Topstep risk disclosure for me. Everyone knows this is for educational purposes only. It is not a signals class. Now, let's get to these markets. I only have an hour tonight. It is Sunday night, Monday's price action, depending on where you are at from around the world. Yeah, what a freaking market already. Just selling off. We're down 1.4%, a little over 1.4%. Market broke the lows. We gapped down, filled the gap, and you can see this is a daily chart in the NASDAQ. Let's look. What am I looking for? I don't know. Maybe the market could bounce somewhere right here around 19,100. This was a pivot from September. There was a little bit of support and resistance in this area, as you can see. So, I mean, there could be a bounce. Maybe there's some buying stepping in right before we get to 19,000. I don't know. It's very hard to say, let's buy this market because we just broke down. It is low liquidity tonight. It's slow markets. We're just starting the trading session. We're already down 1.4% here in the NASDAQ. And yeah, looking pretty scary. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. And I mean, what else? What can you say about this? It's just down, right? Just looking pretty bearish to me. Just continuing to sell off. Oh, man, what a market. What a market for sure. Everyone knows Friday fast markets. If you tuned in, we were around these 19,900s, and I was trying to get short up here, and sure enough, the market just sold off. We sold off pretty far. We broke through this support. We broke through the 19,600s, looking for a little bit of buying activity there. We just got a tiny bit, and then we just sold off. We sold off down to, there was no support. There's just nothing. There was absolutely no buyers on our way down. Maybe there was an argument like in the afternoon session during the New York on Friday. There was a little bit of hesitation, but no, we just blew through this support. And you can imagine everybody that went into the weekend long, or at least had a long position over the weekend. I mean, could you imagine? Their stop loss is just getting ran through, gap down. Everyone with options are not going to be able to close them off until the morning. And margin calls for sure all around the markets. Traders that are over leveraged to the long side, maybe some options where you think to yourself, well, it can't go any lower, right? Trying to close out of your position tomorrow morning is going to be interesting. I am going to be on fast markets tomorrow, so we shall see. Now, what can we do in this type of a market environment? Well, you just do nothing. You wait. You see if the market can find some type of opportunity to get into the trend. If you're a counter trend trader like myself, sometimes like reversals, wait for big key levels. Wait for big key levels to maybe find some type of market structure, and then maybe put a little bit of risk on. And now I say a little bit, as in you sizing down. We are at this level. So, I mean, this was support and resistance, and it's still very, very difficult. I would rather sell pullbacks, like sell the rallies, right? Sell the rallies. Let me zoom into the hourly chart. We're continuing this sell-off as I've been speaking. Let's look at a 5-minute chart. Anything to do there? You can see tonight, we not even a gap, right? Gap's done. We started the Sunday night session. We gapped down. That gap already got filled, right? We sold off. We opened up, 19,320, filled the gap straight down, and it's just been selling off. That there's a little bit of buying coming in every once in a while, and that just got met with more selling. So from where 200 points from that aspect. Where did we close on Friday? It was clear. I don't know. Where were we? Where did we close on Friday? It was pretty far up. It was during the New York session. I'm looking for the New York session. Basically way up there. So we are down 1.5%, almost 300 points. And I don't know. How's everybody trading? Anybody trading this price action? How are you doing? Bobby Axelrod says 19,111 I see. I'm going to be honest. If I look at the daily chart, what I'm looking at is, are we going to hold this pivot where there is support now down here, 19,000, just above 19,000? I'm honestly going to be looking at the levels around 18,200 plus or minus 18,200. That is where I'm going to be. Like, we're 1,000 points lower. We still have 1,000 points to go. So honestly, who knows? Who knows? This is the level I'm going to be watching. There's not a lot of market structure if you're a technical analysis. I want market structure. I need market structure to trade. And if we break through this, I'm seeing 19,200s. Maybe there's an argument to be made. 19,600 or 18,000. 19. Oh my gosh, we're blowing through these 1900s or 19,000s. Not 19,000s, 18,000. So 18,200, and then maybe 18,600. That could be a thing. Now remember, we have a big week this week. If we take a look at what's going on, we always need to keep in mind, remember Coach Jay, he was on just before me. There's not too much going on tonight, overnight, and tomorrow. I'm looking through the news. Obviously, everyone's going to be paying attention to interest rates. There's some, some data coming out from Japan. So we'll take a look at the Nikkei. We have a lot of Fed speakers, right? So some Fed speakers coming in. We have job openings. Tuesday, we can see a lot of volatility Tuesday. We're already seeing volatility tonight, but there is, data coming out on Tuesday. And then, of course, this is what everyone's probably watching. April 2nd, Trump tariff deadline. And not only that, we have some employment data. I'm sure all of the data that we see coming out on Tuesday is going to be in the back compared to what the Trump deadline, the tariff deadline is. And then not so much the day after. There we have initial jobless claims. That can bring some volatility. And a lot of Fed speakers. So Friday, payroll. And non-farm. It's a non-farm Friday with a lot of Fed speakers. So what do we do in this market? I think we're going to see a spike in volatility. I think we're already seeing that. I was talking about some, markets kind of stabilizing in terms of volatility. You guys see I talking about the average true range, how it started to slowly go down, and I take that back. Everything changes in these markets really fast. That's not the orders. We're going to take a look at where average true range. Well, it's Sunday. Let's take a look at average true range, and we can see I've been talking about it almost daily, and yeah, we're getting another spike in volatility here tonight on the hourly chart. It's crazy to think that we are higher than the New York session in terms of the volatility, and this is slow markets. We're just starting the Asian session. Let's look at the 5-minute chart, see, and put it in perspective. Like, it's just insane. It's just insane. Like, this is just way higher than the regular slow market session, right? If we look and say, hey, where is a normal slow market session? Where average true range on a 5 minutes around 6 points. 6 points. Tonight we're hanging around 24 points, so it's not volatile, or it's not slow markets at all. And I just And then I'm over here. I'm that guy that's like, yeah, we're starting to see some buyers step in. Let's buy it. Let's buy it. Let's. Double bottom is being created on the 1 minute. Double bottom being created in the 1 minute. I see what you're seeing. I do. I see this. All right. If we could break through these, 190s. It's just so hard. It's just so hard. Maybe we look for a test back up to these 219s. Maybe we come up to these 219s and look for an opportunity to short it. But, you're shorting when the market's already down 1 1/3%. So it's difficult to buy and difficult to sell. Margin calls coming due. So expect some more downsides until the margin calls finished. Margin call Monday. Margin call Monday. Is that what we're talking? Boy, crude pulled from open. We're going to watch these markets. We're going to continue to watch these markets. Let's continue. Let's take a look at, I want to take a look at the Nikkei. Nikkei, you talk about the Nikkei. This market's selling off. It's down almost almost 2% here. I mean, this, oh man, this, when it opened, you could see it gapped down, and we're looking at this market move. That's an ugly market to trade. If you look at this, what do we do here on the Nikkei? I mean, I wasn't too long ago. Everyone remember we were trading up here in the Nikkei. The Japanese market was talking about this double top, and if we could break through this, and I was getting in short around these 37,300s, and then it just kept going, and it's going. Nothing to really. I don't know where we could go here. I mean, if we look at the daily, can we test these 35,000 evens? All right, 35,000 evens, and then even further. I mean, I don't want to speak this one into existence. 30,700s. I mean, there's a lot of room to the downside. Maybe we could find some support or resistance here at this level, around 33,700s. But it could. I just look. I mean, look how volatile it could get. Everyone, understand this volatility. Major. This is 3 days. 3 days here in the Nikkei. 20%. Just try and wrap your head around that. Over 20%, 21% in 3 days. And this is in a futures market. So if this market could move 20% in 3 days, this isn't Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is crazy. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. This is the Nikkei. This is the Japanese market. Not a meme coin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin while we're here. What is that? Bitcoin's getting hammered too, right? Bitcoin is selling off as well. Bitcoin's down. I mean, 7%. We're selling off tonight as well. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. Yeah, Bitcoin's just selling off. Any bullish momentum Bitcoin had broke, and it's just free falling. It's free falling as well. Bitcoin's probably larger than the Nikkei, right? But the Bitcoin is not connected to any individual country or any individual company, I guess. I mean, take MicroStrategies, whatever. You have a company connected to Bitcoin, not the other way around. You want to buy Micro NQ? You want to buy NQ? I see it. I see longs, and it just. I understand where you're coming from on this double bottom, and then trying to break through this. It's just so hard for me to be a buyer. It's just very, very difficult. If you are micros, right? We could talk about micros if you're going to be, getting in long in this type of a market condition where we're just selling off. Micros is probably the way to go, and I would be okay. I do see a breakout if we could break out, which we're trying to do right now here in the NASDAQ, and then maybe look to see if we can target up here around 200s, 220s, 20 point little 22 point bounce. I don't know, but yeah, it is starting to go. We can watch it. Let's take a look at gold real fast. Gold, all-time highs, gold. I mean, why not, right? We look at this major move. This is a longer time frame flag. This is a bullish flag now with the power of hindsight. And we rallied to all-time highs. And here we are again tonight with Coach Shoop in the chat. Look at the 5-minute chart. Everyone's panicking. And what's gold doing? Gold made all-time highs at the open. And then we're kind of just right back to where we were. Gold's a beast, Coach Hoop. Sometimes the best strategy is just to wait and see how the market's doing. Crude, just as volatile. Look at crude. Major gap on crude, 1%, and then we sold right back down, making new lows. Like, this is not slow markets. This is the exact opposite, everyone. This is crazy. Let me get to some questions. Let me get to some of these questions. We only have an hour. This is only an hour long. We already have almost halfway through. Let's get to some of these questions. What's your take on copper? Is copper moving? Is copper moving a lot tonight? I've talked about copper a little bit. I'm undefeated in copper. Copper's crazy. Every market, it seems like, is moving. Dakota, would it make sense to sell the rumor, buy the news now? I don't know. Randy H, that's kind of the feeling you get this week. I'm going to talk about and remember, this is all opinion. This is pure opinion, everybody. If I go ahead and copy paste that Topstep risk disclosure, this is purely an opinion. And we take a look at what's going on in this market, and we talk about that comment. Sell the rumor, buy the news. Markets do not like uncertainty. You know that. Everybody knows that. If you've been tuning in to anywhere, if you've been following these markets, you've heard that a lot. Markets do not like uncertainty. Markets typically do not like tariffs. Tariffs can be a bad thing, right? And you're seeing the way this market reaction is happening. It's selling. These markets are selling. And it's usually the opposite, right? You want to buy the rumor and sell the news, where everyone's buying. There's rumors of one company merging with another company or something. Buying rumors, and then once it's announced, then you sell into the hype. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Where this comment is, you want to sell the rumor, buy the news. Well, the rumor is not so much a rumor other than a political announcement, which you have an actual country looking to put tariffs on, then you have other countries retaliating, and it's a mess. There's a lot of uncertainty, along with hot inflation data that came out last week. And so what would be the news? I don't know. Maybe if you're looking at April 2nd, the April tariff deadline, maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain my own thoughts. Remember, everything I'm talking through is purely opinion. Nobody really knows where this market is because we're day traders. We trade the day by day. We don't really care too much about the fundamentals when we're day trading. But I mean, maybe there is some truth to that statement where everyone is very fearful. There's a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of people are very fearful. And then when April 2nd does come, it's not as scary as what people thought. I don't know. Maybe there's something. I remember, what was it, 2 weeks ago when the Chicago sentiment came out and it was the worst it's ever been, right? And it was just so negative, but then the market rallied. And I don't know. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, right? Coach Dakota, I'm so excited. Like a kid in a Christmas, I'm waiting for my 1950 Mercury Chop Top Flames air ride suspension. It took me 2 years. Okay, I would be excited like a kid in Christmas for something like that. Is live harder than XFAs? Everybody. Everyone knows my opinion, at least probably should, when it comes to a simulated environment versus a live environment. Saying, is an XFA harder than live? I will say a live account, yes, in theory, is harder than an XFA. It's a fact. A live account is harder than a simulated account, whether it's an XFA, whether it's funded, whatever, whatever. Live, actual, real money when you're trading is harder than a simulated environment. Now, the environments could be pretty accurate, pretty similar, right? When it comes to getting in and getting out and how the orders are placed and, like if you looked for 50 points, technology has made it to where it's very, very accurate, right? You can account for some little details like slippage and how your orders go through exactly, right? But that's as accurate as I've ever seen it. Like the difference is like without testing it side by side, you might never see a difference. It's more of a psychological side. The difficulty comes from, your own psychological, hurdles. I would say you can compare the two, a live account right hand in hand next to a simulated account. And the technology now, there's going to be very minimal difference. If you're not trading news, right? News, you're going to see a difference. But in just regular market environment, you're not going to see much of a difference. It's just harder because it's emotionally difficult as a trader. You whatever it is, as a human, it's hard. It's hard. Even though you can get a payout in an XFA, there's still some difficulty, right? I would order them in. You have a practice account, right? Just practice account. That's the easiest. That's the easiest emotionally. And then you have a combine. That's, the next level. It's a little bit harder. And then you have an XFA. Now that one's harder than the combine. Then you have a live account, and that one is then harder. So there's levels to it. And regardless of your opinion of, they might all be the same if you copy trade them. When you're trading, they might, have similar results. It's all psychologic based. It's all those hurdles, all the difficulty. It's all a psychological battle. Unless you're like an extreme scalper and you're trading high volatile times, you might see more slippage in a live account. Yeah, it's wild. I killed in my practice account. Yeah, it's because you don't care. Traders just don't care about the practice account usually, and they trade better. Myself too. If you're serious about trading, then your demo account as emotional as live. If you could try, Tony, it's still hard. It's still so hard to compare. It's as much as one might think that they can trade the simulated account like a live account. And it's so hard to duplicate it. It really is. Knowing that that's your money, and knowing that when you take a loss, it's your loss. Simulated account, you don't care. Even XFAs, you can make an argument. What's the worst case scenario? Lose $100, lose $150, depending on the size of account that you're trading. So I'm not against it. I've never been against simulated trading. Never have. It's a beautiful thing for traders to learn, for traders to become better, and for traders to not risk the money that they typically would if they're opening up their live account. What I'm against is the game of, like you said, it's the like the game aspect, the way that some people game it, treat it like a game. They don't care about like real trading and becoming better. I am against that. I'm against advertising that aspect. I'm against copy trading X amount of accounts. I make $50 here. It's actually 50,000 because I copied so many different accounts. I'm against that. I've been taking care of combines for 4 months, risking just by 60%. And seeing everyone on Discord risking 0.51 makes me feel like I wouldn't say that. Everyone has their own risk appetite. Typically, the less risk you have, the longer you'll be around. I got one advice from someone that trades: when you make 100K on your demo from 1K deposit, then go live. Don't forget to look left. You want to be trading against people in losing positions. Hello, Dakota. Since you are also an option trader, do you ever look at the weekly expected moves on QQQ for correlation, your NQ intraday, or likewise? I don't pay attention too much to correlation, but I do look at other markets. I have positions on like QQQ, not so much ES, but yeah, SPY, different individual stocks. 1% of the account or the drawdown, open up a personal account myself, super small, that forces me to only trade 1 micro. Yeah, I like that, Pawn. If you are going to trade your own personal money, I would recommend, start with 1 micro. See if you could do it with 1 micro. And if you can't do it, and if you can't find consistency with 1 micro, you have no business trading anything greater than that. Yeah, more risks. More risk ruins the psychology for sure. Oversizing. Shout out to my VIP team. They're trading better now than they have been, and every single week for the past 5 or 6 weeks, it's been a similar conversation. My VIP team, it's a team of traders. They're 50 traders. Some of them are probably in this chat. They're trading a lot better than they have been. So big shout out to them. Every week I've been talking size down. This past week it was like 5 minutes on the same thing. I'm like, what the heck are you guys doing? Like, there's a couple traders who lost $3,000 in a day. Why have you not sized down? And I'm still seeing some traders blow their account. And I'm just like, if you're trading the small size, like, a lot of every single coach here has recommended, you're not going to be blowing accounts. It should take you a month to blow an account. It really should. Like, if your account is not lasting you at least 2 weeks, you have a size issue. You have an issue with you're trading too big of size. It's a fact. You can't argue that. How do you learn to take a loss? I can't end a day red and say I'm out. Daily loss limit. If you are having a hard time taking a loss, use a daily loss limit. So there is settings in here, and you can have a personal daily loss limit to where you can say, no matter what, I will not lose more than $500 in a day, and save it. So that way you don't have to make that decision emotionally. You can just say, hey, even though I don't want to end today, the platform that I'm trading, it will kick me out. I no longer could trade because I hit my loss limit. And it's better to set the loss limits now before you start trading, because you get emotional when you're trading and think, I'm just going to go back to these settings and I'm going to adjust them now. And you're going to adjust them after you start trading. And then you make adjustments based out of emotion. That's why I like this. Lock out your risk settings for the day. If you have it in like your routine, every single day before you start trading, you come in here and you put your risk settings and you click this, and then you don't have to worry about coming back here and make. I know there's most of the traders here in the chat probably did the same thing. They're like, my daily loss limit is going to be $2,000, and then after they start trading and they start getting close to that 2,000, they come in here and then they adjust it. And they say, actually, you know what, 2,500. And then they come back and they adjust it. And then they adjust it. It's better just to adjust it once. and then not have to worry about getting emotional and coming back and redoing it. And I know that most of the traders in the chat. I've thought about doing that myself. I've called Mick from the risk team and said, hey, I lost $5,000 during slow markets. Can you open up my daily loss limit to 10,000 so I could trade during fast markets? And he's like, sure. And he did it, and I ended up, making up the 5,000 and then, having a green day. And then he did it again, and I actually ended up turning out to be losing 10,000. And then I did it again, and I lost 10,000. And then it was just like, okay, no more. You need to either split it up between $2,500, or you're just going to have to trade a practice account if you lose your daily loss limit during slow markets. And so I'm like, you know what? You're right. Martingale always work. It always works until it doesn't, right? If you want a high win percentage, you could... no, I'm not going there. I'm not going down that route. Why is copy trading multiple accounts not good? Well, there's a healthy way to do that, and then there's a not healthy way to do that. Horrible at name pronunciations, but Floros, I don't know. It says, why is copy trading multiple small accounts not recommended? So it's a double-edged sword, okay? If you cannot trade one account, if you can't trade small, you can't trade big. I want to make sure I'm saying this correct because YouTube's recorded and it's forever. And look at everyone who bought this, making the money to the long side. We found the buyers so far. Everyone who's long caught that long. Good work. You have courage buying that, but it's working out so far. Back to that question. I've talked about it a little bit. Is if you're new to trading and if you're still learning how to become consistent and you're still learning to take a payout, then it doesn't make sense to copy trade multiple accounts, right? You're still learning how to trade. And when you're learning, the less risk that you are putting into the markets, or the less money that you're putting into these markets yourself, is a good thing, the less risk. Once you've started to develop a process and show that consistency, then I'm okay with it. To me, it's like, yeah, then sure, you can copy trade accounts. I like that idea, to be able to focus on one account and copy trade, say, 5. Once you've built that process and you have that confidence. And for me, it's more about the emotional side. For me, it's more about the emotional side, where when you're trading in one account, you see the P&L as much as you don't want to. You're like, yeah, I made $500. That's easier to comprehend mentally, to see a P&L make $500 or lose $500. You could manage that. That's a lot more manageable than if you were, trading one account and it was, $2,500. You have a harder time. So seeing a P&L swing, $2,500 or $5,000 is harder emotionally than if you're copy trading it and spreading it, over like 5 different accounts. And then you're seeing the P&L only swing, $5, $6, $200. And it's the same with position size. If I trade, say, 1 mini here, that's a lot easier to manage emotionally. But then if you're thinking of it like, oh, if I trade 5 minis, oh man, you're 5 minis and you're seeing the P&L move. But then if it's across, 5 accounts, you trade 1 mini and you're seeing less of the PS. So I think for me, copy trading is more for the emotional management. You don't have to deal with the emotions of watching bigger P&L swings or bigger position sizes. It's kind of doing it for you in the background. Mike, I disagree. It's not a learning thing with multiple accounts. You can easily become a bad trader and reinforce bad habits with yeah, well, true. You could easily become a bad trader. You could become a bad trader in many different ways. But from what I have seen for new traders who are still learning to become consistent and become a profitable trader, it's better to do it with one account. Because if you can't do it with one account, and if you can't do it with a small account, doesn't make sense to do it with multiple. I'm not trying to jump in right away with 5 accounts. 1 by 1 is my goal. Yeah, and I've, some of the best trading I've seen that I've liked, the way that traders do it is they'll start with 1 account, and maybe they struggle, maybe they go through a couple of resets, or they have to purchase a couple new combines, and then once they take a payout, they use the money that they used for the payout, and they open up like two combines, right? Then they copy trade 2 accounts, and if they're able to take a payout there, then they'll copy trade 3. And I've seen traders do that. I like it. That would be the way I would go if I was to start all over again, like learning these markets for the first time. I like that idea. If I start with 1 and I could take a payout with 1 account, and I'm going to use that money to, now start my copy trading journey. I seen 100 contracts come in. I don't know where they went. I was watching this DOM, and there was 100 contracts come in to ask somewhere. Let's see. It was somewhere. Let's see if it's... no, I have not seen it yet. Didn't get filled. I do $400 a day for combines, $200 for XFA, until above 2,000. Yeah, I mean, you can argue that it's easier mentally, and it's not as difficult to make $200 a day than it is to make $2,000 a day, right? But then if you copy trade, you're still in your mentally you're making $200 a day. But then if you're copy trading 5 accounts, that's actually $1,000 a day. So mentally, for me, it's all a mental game. It's a mental game whether you're in Combine, XFA, or Live, or if you're in 1 account or 5 accounts. It's moving like fast markets. Yeah, it's not slow markets, slow-ish markets. Slow-ish markets tonight. That's what we are trading. That's what we're watching, these markets. Slow-ish. I mean, I'm not seeing any patterns tonight. There was maybe a long opportunity on this double bottom and the breakout. I did not take it. Obviously, with hindsight, that was a good trade. I've seen some traders in the chat taking this double bottom on. This is a 1-minute chart. And so far that one worked out. I personally, everyone knows how I like to buy the dip. I was not buying it there. I was kind of waiting to see if we could push down a little bit further. I would have really liked to see this market, see if we can come down and test the 19,100s. I mean, you could see that there was some resistance back in August, and then there was some support there, and we got it again on this sell-off. So this is kind of as a decent zone to for buyers to step in. And then we look at where we came to tonight. We touched it, so it does kind of make sense, right? It kind of makes sense. The low was 160, right? 160, and then we look at where that support and resistance was. And yeah, it's right. 170s, 170, 140, 150. And then you have this from back in, September that got as far low as 074. So I was looking for a little bit lower price. And yeah, everyone who bought so far is sitting in a pretty good position because it's weird to think that was an 80-point rally, 82-point rally from the bottom to that high. I would honestly, it's just maybe a short. I like selling it. I don't know. It's difficult to be a buyer. What's a double bottom? Well, a double bottom is exactly what it sounds like. It's kind of a W shape, right? There's 1 and then there's a 2. And then we kind of break through that middle like a W, the letter W, right? And that is what a double bottom typically is. sometimes you just get this kind of breakthrough. My drawing is horrible, so bear with, don't make fun of my drawing, okay? I gotta clear this. And let's see what's going on with these other markets. We gotta watch these other markets. Yeah, there's a double bottom in crude too. See, there's a double bottom. They don't look perfect. It's not. Nothing's ever perfect in these markets. Usually, there's some that look pretty close, but nothing perfect. Let's take a look at gold. Going through these, we have about 20 minutes left. Things are starting to settle down just a little bit on gold. Is Nikkei bouncing? The Nikkei is bouncing. This is the Japanese market that we was talking about. And then, of course, the NASDAQ. Can a double bottom also be considered a cup and handle? They're two different patterns, right? You can say that this is... I don't know if you want to say that's a cup and handle. You can say that, sure, but the double bottom is you could say both, I guess. I would not disagree with you. I'm summoning my inner Bob Ross. I love to watch Bob Ross. I almost purchased a Bob Ross painting a few months ago. Didn't realize how expensive they are. The original, the original paintings. Just a little. This is a little happy incident, a little happy mistake. Fluffy little, happy little patterns everywhere. What network has all the Bob Ross? There's a lot of record. I usually just use YouTube. Just buy a banana and some duct tape. Sony. Big short now. Once again, I say I have a hard time selling or buying after this market's moved so much. But yeah, you can see where we're kind of consolidating here. You could look at this as two ways. You could make an argument for any direction. Honestly, you could see that this could be a bullish flag, right? You could say that this is a bullish flag. We're going to break out and come up and test these 260s. There's an argument. There's the bull argument. Now, the bear argument, you can say, oh, we're in a downtrend, and this is just a pullback. This is just a pullback. And we're going to continue lower, just like we've been seeing these pullbacks. So there's an argument to be made on both directions in this market, basically at every given time. Any given time, we're in a decision zone, that's for sure, right? This is where a lot of buyers stepped in before on the way down. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see. What indicator can we look at? We can take a look at the VWAP, the volume weighted average price. It starts at the Sunday night, and we're right there. We're right there. Do you use volume profiles? I do not. Coach J is much better than I am with volume. I'm purely charts. I love charts. I watch charts, patterns, technical analysis. Let's see how this market reacts around this VWAP. Oh, that looks bullish. It looks like it's going to break out, right? But it's just so hard to pick a direction. Flip a coin. Flip a coin right here. All of them. Coach J is the volume king. He is great. Anchored one. Now it's looking bearish. Order filled. I'm going to short this with a micro. I'm shorting a micro here. We're going to leave some room for the runner. Let's see that. I want to check something actually. we're gonna short this. I want to see what the difference is there compared to that. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. I'm short. Why am I short? Well, we're consolidating here, and this is a very bearish market, right? And I mean, it looked like we was going to break to the long side, but I'm okay risking, what am I, $130, $130 to see if we could get a move lower. I'm probably going to build into this position. Watch, I bought the bottom. Uh-oh. Wrong account. No, this is my live account. I used to use Fibonacci's. Used to. Let's see. We touched the VWAP. Looked like we were going to break down right there for a second. This consolidation. And then was looking for a play on a breakdown. And we are not getting it yet. I say yet like it's going to happen, but nothing, we never know in these markets. We just never know. I'm going to keep that up there a little bit more. Just above this pivot. Trap? Well, so far it trapped me. So far the market trapped me. Here, we're going to zoom in. I'm going to do a 100 tick chart. And you can see how I kind of like to view these markets. I like to have it like this. I have a 5-minute and 100 tick chart right here. Yeah, it trapped me right there. I like the shorts as well. Ooh, let's run a poll. That is the thing. I'm getting mixed. Usually, let's see what's the tilt actually. There's the tilt. It's 50-50. 54% long, 46% short. Tilts 50-50 basically across the board. Let me see if I can get a poll going. Let's do that. Let's see how good I am with these polls. It's been a while. Go long, bro. We're going to do NQ. It's going to be 50-50. Watch. This poll is going to be 50-50. Mixed opinions. Oh, starting off with a bang. Starting off 60% shorts. I want to see what that poll is compared to this tilt. The tilt's a little heavier long. No DoorDash for dinner today. Good thing I already got dinner. Good thing I got dinner already. Stats and shoes. Higher than lower. MES, it's 55, 56. So why is the poll different than the tilt? Anybody know? Your credit's maxed out. Inverse top step equals the best indicator. If that's your process, you might need to rethink it. Chris Long, straight gambling. This is not straight gambling. You need to tune in a little bit more often. Tune in. The tilt is simulated accounts. The tilt is not live accounts. I don't know the math behind it. People in the poll aren't trading. Long is now 60%. The indicator measures people that are on a Topstep account, in a simulated account, long or short. going through some of the chat's going pretty quick. Okay, we're going to end the poll. We're ending the poll. I want to see. Long AF. Long AF. Strength gambling, 1 micro. We're going. This is huge, man. This is huge. My daily loss limit, my average trade's 5 minis, $5,000, and we're over here gambling with 1 micro. This is gambler here with 1 micro, risking $189 going shorting this market. NQ going to the moon because not many people voted. DCA short. We're going to DCA short this market. I am okay with building into 5 micros. I'm going to build into 5 micros. Building into 5 micros. There's a difference between gambling and risk management, right? Blue Thunder. Fade the D. Not going to the moon. You look at these markets and someone says to buy them and it's going to the moon. I don't know about that. I'm over here betting the farm. No chance Dakota shorts the bottom again. Did you tune in Friday, Josh? I see you in the chat. You're the troll that always pops up. Looks like it's going to heart. Yeah. That's why you're still here, right? You're still in the chat. I don't block anybody who's... If anybody's as dedicated as you are, Josh, you deserve to stay in the chat. Never be blocked. It takes a lot of dedication. Resident trolls get marked. Coach, why did you not short the market Friday as you seen it? Wilder, I did try and short, and we had news coming out. Right as the news it came out, and the market just started selling off. Here we go. I'm going to see about adding up here. Buyers getting paid. Tilt still 58% long. Average long price 238. Average long is 238. Average short is 244. Price just keeps getting better and better for a short. Hey, if you like to short down at 232, you're going to love it. You're going to love it here at these 270s. It's more exciting to short the bottom and buy the tops. Yeah. How do I have blown a few accounts? Now my max position for pyramid forward micro no average and lose trade. Do you think this is right strategy to save account? Yeah, as long as you're sizing down in micros, then that should be that's a lot better off. Trading smaller size, trading in micros is better. Dakota, you don't look at volume profile. I do not. Coach Jay is a much better volume profile trader than I am. 270 short is risky, but it's a risk. If we could break through this, I'm looking right here. You guys hear that? Do you guys hear when I enter? There's a different voice. I'll have to look. It says, I need to put Hoag's voice. Only in 2 so far. I got 3 more to go. To scale in. See if we could scale into 5 micros. They changed the voice slightly. They did. They did. Wife keeps asking about the gap fill. check out Coach Ray and Vince's Discord for volume profile. There you go, Coach Jay. Have I ever used Bookmap? Why or why not? Is it just not useful? I have not used Bookmap. It is depending on how you trade. I mean, Bookmap could be an amazing tool. For me, it's just I'm a technical analysis trader. I don't want to put too much in terms of like what I'm looking at, right? I like to keep things as simple as I can, and that would. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have the time. I'm comfortable trading the way I do trade. I'm not opposed to learning it, but it'll take me some time to get used to it and learn it. And then, I mean, to have Bookmap open and watch it, it's a distraction for the way I trade. Just put these losses in the 8888 account. Only losses in the Nikkei can go to that account. Losses in the Nikkei could go towards that account. I still going to get into 3 more. Still looking to get into 3 more. What's the white line? This is the volume weighted average price. I don't really trade it, but I have it up because traders like to watch it and talk about it all the time. What setups do you look for? Are they candlestick? It's price action. Technical analysis, support resistance, breakouts, breakdowns. Everyone's VWAP is okay. I'm not going down that route. Do you think this is buyer exhaustion? I don't know. This could be anything, right? We're still only, I mean, I say only. We're down 1%. I mean, I'm not surprised by a pullback. This could stop me out. This market could come up and stop me out, and I'll be minus $300 right now. The Aussie dollar filled the gap. Will the red folder try to now be Nikkei? Where's your stop loss? You know, it's right there in the chart. You see it up there at, 320s. 320s. A wise man once said, all roads lead to VWAP. Yes, they did. 330s next. Don't say that. It's going to go up to 330, and then it's going to turn around and just sell off. New York session is going to be insane. Go eat dinner. Midpoint of gap shrugs. Gap fill maybe. What gap? This was already filled. This gap was filled. This gap was already filled, so I'm not considering this to be a gap. Good night, Sony. Tell me if I pronounce your name wrong. 332 is the golden pocket if you measure the first 15 minutes. Okay, the first 15 minutes is right in the middle of this then. Is that what you were saying? Could you please explain why you think it was filled? What do you mean? Why I think it was filled? The gap at the bottom? The gap at the bottom. What are you referring to? Traps are now... Wait, shorts are trapped in the losing positions? The shorts are not trapped. I tell you that. Market's down 1%. Shorts are happy. Shorts are extremely happy. Maybe the shorts that were down, like people that were short down here, maybe I don't know, but I tell you what, if you're short this market, you are not in. You're very happy. You're very happy. I'm talking overall, right? When the Nasdaq's down 1%, some of the bigger traders, bigger institutions, hedge funds, big money, they're happy. They're happy to see the Sunday night open, and they're happy to see this sell off in the Asian session. Now, traders who bought, down here, or traders who shorts down here is probably not happy. Uh-oh. Should have added more. Coach Hoop, gold's right back up. Gold straight up. Damn. All right, gold. What a move. Sell everything. 3-bar. On the 5-minute, yeah. That could be considered a 3-bar reversal. I don't consider it too much during the Asian session. The market's a little bit more hectic. But yeah, that can be a valid 3-bar reversal. It's the first one since we've started this little rally. Just this little rally. Little rally of 112 points. Just should have added more. Should have just kept adding on the way up. Just DCA max. All the way. Maybe a VWAP bounce. Maybe we did so far. Was sweating your short near 300? We breaking the short-term bull trend soon. This is a bull trend. Is this the bull trend you're looking at and referring to? This bull trend? The question is, what do we do in the London session? That's the next question. London session. Where do we open up in the New York? Where are we going to open New York? Left chart looks like a balanced price range. Left chart is just a 5-minute chart with the VWAP. Right chart is a 100 tick. Now remember, these are micros. This is the NQ micro. Sell until Tuesday. If true, then the Wells will seek buying liquidity. Prob consolidation. I don't know. Rally till the London Open. Rally until the London Open. I don't know about that. I have a hard time picking directions here. Maybe we sell off until the London Open. No rally. What do you think? What do you think about ICT concepts? I don't know enough to offer my own opinion on it. I think any concept, any strategy can be valid depending on the way you use it and manage risk. Gold air horn. Gold straight up. Oh, who's selling gold? Good thing I bought gold. Who's in? Where's the tilt on gold? Where's the tilt? Gold 65% long. 65% long gold. So that's paying off. That's paying off for the gold sellers, the gold buyers. I said gold bullish. Okay. Did you buy it though? That's the question. That's the question. Whenever someone comes in and says, I said this, I said that, we know what the question is. You said buy it. Well, did you buy it? Yeah, this is what I mean. I posted on Friday this. Who remembers Friday, where before the New York session started, I mean, I'm sitting here and Friday I was looking at the market selling off 300 points. saying it and coming back and, yeah, I said this, I said that. Well, Friday morning, I said the market was going to sell off 300 points down to those down there, but I didn't trade it. So saying it and trading it, two different things. That's for sure. That was sometimes it can be frustrating. Yeah, 19,400. I called it, but I didn't trade it. Sometimes I would rather trade it than call it. I tell you that for sure. Uh-oh, this market's selling off. Oh, man. Should have just bought more. Josh liquidated? I don't think so. I don't think Josh has been liquidated. No way Josh is liquidated. Josh, are you in the chat? Maybe he's gone. Oh well. That's okay. We're gonna I already ate tonight. Josh is buying a reset. Don't pick on Josh, okay? Don't pick on Josh. He's a dedicated troll. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to come in the chat and troll daily. I even see him on the Twitterverse trolling. You know, I've only blocked like 2 people ever, and I think that he's one of them on Twitter. I missed that Mike said during shoulder tap Dakota. I must have missed it too. Testing the session VWAP, testing session VWAP. Permatroll. Oh man. Trading a micro is really peaceful. Yeah, you don't stress, right? It's a lot less stress when you're trading micros. Let's get to the food. I win 400. You win 400. Let's see. Should have just kept selling. I should have just 15 contract minis. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Micros are so stress-free. You don't have to stress. You just build a position, trade small, not worry about the little fluctuations in the market. Go with the trend. Yeah, how many points is this? We could switch it to points. We could go settings. We go charts. We could do points. We could look at this and say we're up 13 points. If we could break through these 30s, if we break through these 230s, that's going to be looking good. Looking good if we could break through these 230s. Stop loss? It's up there. It's way up there. Actually, I'm considering moving my stop loss to this pivot high. This is a decent resistance zone. He turned into an entertainment. What are you referring to, British? Oh, there's Josh. Josh, referring to yourself, was it second or third person? Josh took one short tonight at the 50% retracement above the 15 minutes, requesting 1,700 in that account. I've only traded one of my 5 funded accounts. Nice. Good work. 50% retracement of the gap of the first 15 minutes. Maybe I just don't understand what you're referring to by the first 15 minutes. Keep doing it, though. Why does no one at Topstep trade currencies? We have future currencies. There is future currencies available. Coach Jay, I believe, maybe it's Coach Ray or Coach Robert. One of them, they do trade currencies. Tune in at the buzzer. Coach Jay at the buzzer. They talk about currencies. It's been so long since I traded currency. I'm a NASDAQ trader primarily. Paul, there you go. All of them but the one I said. Coach Paul trades currencies. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Jay. Got another sell signal. Sounds complicated. The first retracement of 50% retracement of the first 15-minute gap. Market swinging, hitting the ceiling, and pull down, hitting the bottom every hour is crazy. Coach MP trades USD to USD. It's a good pair. I used to trade the euro dollar and dollar yen. Those were my two main currency pairs I would trade. The dollar yen was pretty volatile during this time, during the Asian session. Okay, let's see. What are you sending me, Coach Hoop? Hopefully it's appropriate. I'm waiting for your message. Currently in front of the CNBC's page. Let's see. I have to see now. I'm curious. Uh-oh. Now we're back around break even. Hoop, I can't see. You haven't nothing's came through. Where are you sending it? Where are we sending it? Is it in Discord? Is it in Slack? Oh, 1 second. You haven't sent it yet? Okay. Back in the barcode until London session, maybe. Okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah, there it is. CNBC. My man. There he is. There's our guy. Anybody recognize him? Wherever he's at? The Peter Tuchman. There he is. Peter Tuchman. That's a recent photo too. Stock futures slip as a jittery Wall Street awaits Liberation Day. Yeah, he answered the question we had, Coach Jay. He answered our question on Friday. Not really. He didn't answer the question for futures. He answered the question for stocks. He thought we were asking about 1,000 shares of stock when we was actually asking about 1,000 contracts in the NASDAQ future. But, I mean, it's still the same idea, right? He said he would, enter some at the open, then he'll throw some on the algorithm, and then he'll check the inventory at the MOC. Wonder if it should be the same with the futures contracts, right? Yeah, he laughed at 1,000 shares. He thought we were saying 1,000 shares. He's like, 1,000. Yeah, I mean, 100,000, 500,000. Well, anybody else long? Anybody long? Dinner for two? We're going for $69? Is that what you mean? Long one, MN. Long. Nope, holding shorts. Where's the tilt at? I think we might be getting chop. We are coming close to the end of the session. 63% short. It's crazy how this thing moves. And actually, you know what? We're 15 minutes past. Everybody. I'm sitting here talking, and I've went longer than I should. And yeah, I'm past. Good. Yeah, short. I'll stay for another 15 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Don't go. I mean, last time I asked for 700 likes and we didn't even get that, so I could stay. 18,500 by end of week. The bullet traders, I'm looking at 18,200 by end of week. I don't know. I think this market it's an ugly market. I give you a like for that. Stay with us and enjoy the sell-off. I think a lot of the move has already finished. I don't know. I was looking for this market to sell off, break this. We haven't. And maybe we can during the London session. Maybe in the New York session. I'm not sure. I don't like this price action. Right? This is actually looking a little head and shoulders. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of a head and shoulders. But whatever it is, I'm not liking it. Wanted it to break through on either the first or this test. Now, this is micros, so you can see a lot more chop. We're coming up on the end of class, everybody. The shampoo pattern. It's holding. Are you saying you have puts? I've sold. I actually, if you believe it or not, I sold some puts Friday, and I will sell some puts again today. Cash covered puts on stocks that I want to own. 100 lots on NQ. Did they get filled? No? At 250? They're gone then. If there was 100 contracts on NQ, they're gone. Interesting. Let's go with MNQ. It's not as bad as as it might sound. When someone says they sell puts, that can be scary. But if they're cash secured on a stock that you want to own, the worst case scenario is you just take delivery of that stock at that put price, which I'm not opposed to it, to be honest. I'll stay for 10 more minutes. I'll give everybody a treat. Is there a smaller size than micro? No. Smallest size right now is micro. Maybe we need like a nano or something. You get paid to be patient. Yeah, that's what a lot of traders lack too. Theta gang, time decay. A nano. But during this high volatility and this crazy sell-off, puts go at a pretty nice premium. So puts on Friday were very, very juicy in the premium. Puts probably tomorrow might be looking good as well. Yeah, micro's $2. Nano would be 2 cents. It probably wouldn't even be worth the commission. Wouldn't be worth the commission, to be honest, for nanos. Okay, I'm going to get out of this trade. I'm not liking it. I was looking for us to sell off. That is 2 head and shoulders for me. 2 head and shoulders for me. Okay, flat. Minus $16 for tonight. Now watch it sell off. Anyway, once again, everybody, it is Sunday night. Monday's price action. It's going to be a big week. Huge week. We have a couple big data points coming out, right? Big data points. It's obviously you've seen that headline that Hoop sent in, this one where it says, where is it at? This one, right? With our man, Peter Tuchman. He's on Topstep TV Mondays and Fridays. Liberation Day, April 2nd. So we're gonna see probably some insane moves, maybe unpredictable moves, random price action. It just feels like, yeah, it's just stay safe, and don't trade anything. Watch this market sell off now. Liberation Day, it's just they say Liberation Day. I don't, whatever that came from. It just means tariffs. Tariffs April 2nd. You could coin it any word you want, but that's when tariffs are starting to take effect, supposedly. But between now and then, a lot can happen. Countries negotiating tariffs, countries adding tariffs, then who knows? But there's a lot of uncertainty in this market, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see more volatility. And the market's already down over 1%. Gold's been making all-time highs. The other markets still very, very, very choppy. So other than that, I will be on Topstep TV tomorrow morning. Depending on price action, we'll see about trading. Like I said, my normal position size, 5 minis. My daily loss limit's 5,000. I don't mind risking 5,000 depending on the good price action. And look, right before we end class, look at what this mark. Look at that order. 400 contracts sitting at 258. So, yeah, last time we seen big orders, Coach Jay, last time we seen big orders coming in, well, what happened to the market during the New York session? We're going to see. It's happened twice. Every single time we see a big, I'm not joking. I don't know what the batting average is. I don't know I don't have a strategy. Does it mean anything? Maybe, maybe not. But last time Coach Jay and I was on together, we've seen some big orders come in at the ask. Look, there's 400. I think it was like 900 or something before. The market just sold off hard the day before. It happened again, I think, last week. So does this mean anything? I don't know. Tomorrow, if we sell off, I'm going to be saying, maybe that 400 contract did something, said something. Maybe whoever this is trying to put those 400, maybe they keep moving it. There's been a couple times before where there's a big order. Oh, look, there's another one that's popped up. 300. So we've seen this before. Dang. Okay. All right. Well, last time this happened, we now what? Now as we're ending class, we get these big orders coming up. Tomorrow should definitely be fun. I think somebody even stayed up last time and watched these orders. They get pulled, then they'll move them higher, then they'll move them higher, then they'll move them higher as the market kept going up and up and up. But will they get filled? It's anybody's guess, to be honest. We haven't seen any big orders get filled tonight. There was 12, 20, and 14, and that's an interesting thing. We'll see. Put on 5 contracts and update you tomorrow. We'll just throw 5 on there and see what happens. Sell the markets. I'm a bearish. I'm a natural bull. I'm a bull. I'm a bull at heart, but a bear in these markets, right? We just broke through this, and the fact that we are staying below it, it's going to be an interesting trading day tomorrow. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you bright and early for the New York session. If not, tomorrow night, we'll hit slow markets again. Take care and see you then. Bye.